You're listening to The Front Porch Show. Some shows are niche shows, talking about specific topics. Others, shows about nothing. This show is the show about everything. On The Front Porch Show, we'll talk about current events, some news, a little bit of politics, along with a whole lot of life. Welcome to our Front Porch. 1-402-799-1811 is the message line number. Text or call, message, whatever. You do whatever you want. You can reach out to us. I am Aaron. I'm joined by Tombstone and Ozzy. Just Jeff is... Poor Jeff. All
just
the month
not
of
here.
January, he is busy with his finger posed over the rods of God button. And
Ben is out of control tonight. We need to be honest about ourselves.
Oh,
the nice thing is I do have a mute button, so if I have to, we can always mute. And,
You might need to get
worst
there.
case scenario, we always have the caw that we can put it. Ozzy, I don't think has ever heard the caw.
Is that the thing you bleeped your wife out that one time with?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said. What did she say? Oh, I remember.
I don't know. It was bleeped out.
Well, yeah. No, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, she said what she said.
Yep.
She said what she said. Pretty sure her mom listened to that episode.
She hasn't been on since.
No, she hasn't, has she? Poor Alyssa. So, wow. You know, guys, I'm sitting here looking at the clock now, and it's already an hour past the time that we all got on. And it's because we were just hacking it up for the last hour. But, Tombstone, I wanted to talk to you about your adventure today.
Adventure is kind of a strong term.
Why would it be a strong term? I think it's always an adventure when you're doing firearm training.
I mean, it's just boring, but it was fine. So for those not in the know, I went and got my I did my concealed carry permit, or concealed weapons permit as we call it in South Kakalaki. And so now some things have changed because I went through this class first in 2009. And back then you had to have, and I also took the instructor's course at one time, which is a whole other story. But at that time you had to have 8 solid hours of instruction.
Yeah.
So what they used to do is 4 hours on NRA basic pistol, which had a lot of fluff in it, frankly, and
You're talking 8 hours of classroom time, right?
You had to have 4 hours of your
4
butt
hours
in
of
a seat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You had to have 8 hours of your butt in a seat in a classroom.
That's terrible.
So that's not including range time. That's not including lunch.
Wow.
So we started at 8 and we finished at like 6:30 at night.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but they've changed the requirements, so you no longer have to have 8 hours. So it's basically just you get done when you get done. So today we got there at 9 and we wrapped up at 4, which is not bad, including an hour for lunch and including an hour at the range.
Nice.
So there's 6 hours of classroom time, or 4 hours of classroom time.
Now, can I just say this? I mean, some folks listening to the show are going to be like, "Oh my goodness, they reduced the amount of time you have to train," which means the people leaving are not going to be as well trained. Now, here's the thing with CCW classes. There's a lot of fluff, as you said.
Yeah, and South Carolina there are certain things you have to cover, and there's a test. So if your instructor does not cover the stuff that's on the test, then you're not going to pass.
There you go.
And the whole process is regulated by the state. Now, it is good that the instructors as a whole do give SLED feedback, which is great, which is why they dropped the 8 hours of classroom time. But, I mean, when I did it, there were, they went back to, like, the history of gunpowder in ancient China to, like, fill up the time.
Well, that's because they had to fill up the time. It was a little bit
ridiculous. Right. Because the actual South Carolina's laws are really not that complicated.
Yeah.
So we have really strong self-defense laws that favor the individual, favor homeowners and people who are victims of attacks. So
it's nice living in a state like that.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
I'm sorry, Ozzy.
So we have a stand your ground law. We have castle doctrine enshrined in the law, and you don't have a duty to retreat. So we're great. We're a great state in that regard. So it really wasn't bad. The test is 50 questions. Some of it is basic safety. Some of it is law. A lot of it is basically, can you do this, carry a pistol in this place, which is a school, government building, and so on. Some of it is what you have to write out the 4 rules, the 4 firearm safety
What
rules.
are the 4 firearm safety rules? Since you wrote them out today.
Always keep a gun pointed in a safe direction. Never put your finger through the trigger guard until you're ready to fire. Know your target, what's beyond it. And always treat every gun as if it was loaded.
Nice job.
That's not in the correct order, but that's
okay. My 4-year-old knows those for the most part.
That's important. And it actually, they mentioned the Eddie Eagle bullet points for kids, which are, if you find a firearm, don't touch, leave immediately, and tell an adult.
Nice.
So, it was a good experience overall. Like, I don't feel like my time was wasted. But you still got to carve out an entire day to go do it. So,
right. So you passed?
I did pass. I had a perfect shooting score and a perfect written score.
Nice.
So,
whoa. Okay, so what did you do for the shooting test? Like, what was
do you have to shoot? You just have to discharge the weapon?
It's 5 rounds at 3 yards, 5 rounds at 5 yards, 5 rounds at 10 yards, and then the rest is at 15 yards, I think. So
that's a long distance.
That's pretty great, yeah.
That's wild.
But it's weighted. I think you have to put 40 on paper.
Okay.
Maybe you don't have to put all of them on paper, and it's a standard silhouette target, so you have to be in the silhouette.
Okay.
But if you aim at the center of the silhouette, I mean, that's as good as it gets.
Right.
It's basically a full sheet of paper. So there were a couple people there that I would not want to be shooting near me.
That's the scary part of the CCW classes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was your experience with those folks?
So there was only one guy there that was unsafe.
What was he doing that was unsafe?
How is that even possible?
So the rules are, when you're on the range, because we're an indoor range, there's a little yellow square you have to stand on when you're handling a weapon. You can't turn around with the weapon. You can't point it at anybody, and you can't walk back to the back of the range with it.
Right.
Boy, they should have
you have to case it, uncase it on the
rules
table.
about this.
There are
like
rules about this.
4 of them.
4 rules that suggest
4 rules
safety?
about this. Yeah.
So
that'd be a good idea.
So, anyways, he had a Beretta 22, like an ancient Beretta 22, and it wasn't running. So he had a problem. He turned around and pointed at the instructor.
The
instructor about.
Please
tell
me
I would have
mind.
kicked him out right then and there.
I
know it's terrible, but I would have kicked him out. I would have kicked him out.
He was just having a hard time.
I would have kicked him out.
But I don't know. As a general rule, I knew this was going to be a problem because I overheard him asking the clerk at the front of the store for 22 short hollow points. So I don't know, but it was actually kind of a cool. Oh, and then later on, I asked him what he had, and he pulled it out to show it to me, and I was like, "No, please don't. Put it away. Put it away.
You started it.
So no. That was afterwards. This is after this. After all this
man.
happened, I leaned over to look at it so that he did not, because he had it in like a little pocket holster thing. And I should have known better. I should have didn't ask him, but he whips it right out. I was like, "Put it away. Put it away." I told him straight up.
Yeah. Wow.
So, anyways, everybody else pretty much was fine.
Oh my gosh.
But, as a general rule, and I apply this to myself as well, you probably need more pistol training than you think you need.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So,
and you probably need more time at the range than you think you need.
I always tell folks that the CCW training should not be your first training you take.
Oh goodness,
and
no.
should never be the last training you take.
Yeah.
Like you should go into a CCW class knowing how to manipulate the weapon and knowing how it functions, knowing how to clear a jam, knowing how to fire it, and then you progress on to CCW.
I would say a good measure of actual proficiency is whether or not you can clear the FBI pistol qual.
Ooh.
Which, if you give me a second, I can tell you what it is. And I actually failed this the first time I did it.
Okay, what is the FBI pistol qualifications?
Let's see. It is. So what's tricky about this is that everything is timed. So 3 yard, draw, and fire 3 rounds, strong hand only.
Oh, this is the pistol? This is the torture test.
No. This is not dot torture.
Not
this is not dot torture.
Okay.
This is FBI. So you shoot this on what they call a milk bottle. It's a slim silhouette.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, so it's 3 yards draw, fire 3 rounds, strong hand, move the pistol to your weak hand, fire 3 more rounds, support hand only, and you have to do all that in 6 seconds.
Wow.
5 yards, draw and fire 3 rounds in 3 seconds. From the ready, so not a draw, but from the ready, fire 3 rounds in 2 seconds, and from the ready, fire 6 rounds in 4 seconds. Those are not too bad. Here we go. 7 yards, draw and fire 5 rounds in 5 seconds. From the ready, fire 4 rounds, conduct an empty gun reload, and fire 4 more rounds, and that's in 8 seconds. And that can mess you up. From the ready, fire 5 rounds in 4 seconds, and then you go to 15 and 25 yards, and it's more of the same. Wow. So at 25 yards, you have to draw. At 25 yards, you have to draw and fire 4 rounds from standing, drop to a kneeling position, and fire 4 more rounds from kneeling, and that's all in 20 seconds.
I'm printing this off right now.
Do it.
Because I know I seriously want to do this. This is awesome.
And if you cannot clear it the first time, because you're going to need a shot timer to do it correctly. Like, don't try to do it with your iPhone.
Yeah,
I'll
have someone at the range do it with me.
Yeah, get a shot timer. I mean, you can do it by yourself with a shot timer clipped on your belt. It is possible, but it will stretch you. I mean, you will probably fail it the first time.
Oh, I guarantee it.
You have to have. Let's see. I'm trying to find out I forget what Bryant, my brother, said was a pass, but I think he only let us drop 10 out of 50. So even when I passed, I dropped 6. But it's typically the long range ones. It's either the ones that have a really short time crunch, or it's the long range ones that mess you up. Because you do have to hurry. This is not a leisurely exercise. This is a very urgent exercise.
It's very fast.
And that's what makes it work for you. Now, if you don't have a constructive way to deal with how you're failing, then this may just stress you out and not really help you. But if you want to use it as as like a benchmark and say, okay, I definitely need to work on my draw, or I need to work on my weak hand or my strong hand, or I need to work on my reloads or whatever, it could be really, really constructive that way.
Right. Bummer, I can't print it right now. My printer died.
Epic fail.
It was. Have you guys done the dot torture? I love the dot torture.
I've only done it one time, and it was hard.
So the dot torture.
Have not. What is it?
What range did you do it at, Aaron? What distance?
I have done it at.
I think I did it at 7 yards, and it was challenging.
I've done it at 5 yards, and I've done it at 10 yards, I believe.
I don't know if I do very
10
good
yards
at 10.
10 yards is very hard without a full size weapon. So your first one is 5 shots slow fire. And then the second one is draw 1 shot 5 times. So
it's 5 separate draws.
5 separate draws.
Right.
And number 3 is this is the interesting one. So you draw, fire 1 shot at number 3, then you fire 1 shot at number 4, reholster, and you do that 4 times.
Yeah.
Number 5 is draw, and then 5 shots with your strong hand. And then number 6 is you draw 2 shots on 6, 2 shots on 7, and then you do that 4 times.
Right.
Then number 8 is 5 shots, weak hand, no draw, obviously. And then number 9 and 10, combination draw, 1 on 9, speed reload, 1 on 10, and you do that 3 times.
Yep.
And it's fantastic. I love it. It stretches you. It's not obviously not as hard as the FBI qualification, which is why I want to try the FBI qualification one, because I think it's just awesome.
Yeah, I would give it a shot.
But the dot torture, especially as you walk out those yards,
yeah.
One of the challenges that people face, though, is a lot of ranges don't allow you to draw.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Did yours today in the indoor range?
The South Carolina carry permit doesn't require it.
Okay.
I believe that range allows it.
Interesting. Even in indoor range.
It really depends. Yeah. So in my experience, it depends on whether or not. So there you have like a little table at the front of the stall.
Yeah.
It really depends on whether or not you can fold it up.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
If you can fold it up out of the way, they might let you do it. Like at City Arsenal, you can fold up the gate.
Right.
So it's not really a big deal.
So when I took my CCW, it was we don't require it. We don't require it. We're not going to make you do it because that's the most dangerous part of the situation.
Absolutely.
And within
a draw,
reason, it is.
Doing the draw over and over again can be risky for people who are not comfortable.
This is why I always advocate you unload your weapon, put your ammunition in a different room, and then you draw holster, and you do that about 150 times. And you just you learn the muscle memory, and I know there's debates on muscle memory whether or not that actually exists or not, but your mind at least will get used to the whole method of clearing your shirt, drawing the weapon.
I mean, you got to practice it,
putting it back in.
But it's definitely better to do your first 150 draws with an empty gun than
without a doubt. Good grief! Yeah. Don't do it with a loaded one. Do not do it with a loaded one. As I said, unload the weapon and then draw, reholster. Just do it over and over again. You will get used to it. It will become natural, and then it won't be an issue when you're holstering a loaded weapon at the range. The other thing, and this was a great tip. I forget the guy's name, but he was like, so when you're reholstering, when you bring your gun back to the holster, tip it to the side a little bit away from you. And then as you drop it a little bit lower in the holster and kind of ride up the side of the holster, obviously finger out of the trigger guard. And then, because if you slide up the side of the holster, you're able to find where the entry to the holster is. And so you just kind of slide up it and then drop it in.
Yep.
And it works. It works great every time. Fingers off the boom switch, and you don't have a hole in your leg. You're not tourniqueting a femoral.
Yes.
And everything is good. So awesome. And I'm glad you passed today, Ozzy. I'm sorry you don't ever have a chance of taking one.
Yeah.
In the state you're in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't think that any one of us can soften the blow of this next story.
Is this about Andrew Yang dropping out of the presidential race?
Did he?
Hashtag gang gang.
I just being silly because I'm so emotionally invested in his presidential run.
Well, okay,
you are.
You said it was a hard hitting story. I assumed it was really bad news.
Are you still invested in his presidential run, or did you move on to Bloomberg?
Ask Aaron what I asked him this week.
Tombstone.
What did you ask him this week, Aaron?
Tombstone wanted a donation to cover him going to a Andrew Yang, Dave Chappelle campaign stop in Columbia, South Carolina, which I saw like a week ago.
It's just a little bit more than I wanted to spend.
If it was like 50, you would have gone.
They wanted 125.
I know.
I just can't do it.
Why don't you come up for the Trump rally up here then, Tombstone?
Because this was in Columbia. You're in New Jersey,
South Jersey.
If there's a Trump rally in South Carolina, I will go.
I need you to go.
I will go.
I need you to go.
I will apply for a ticket
as the front porch show.
So Ben, how did you get your ticket again?
You go onto the website and then you enter your email address so they can spam you.
Remember? Okay. I'm gonna go do it right now.
Well, if you find
you
one,
should. They'll probably give you a ticket.
If you find one, fill out the media contact information. Because if you can get in as media, it gives you a lot more access.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. They're guesstimating supposedly 100,000 people,
and it's a 7,000 seat auditorium.
I think they're off on their estimates. I'm just saying.
The other problem is if it's like New Jersey, then I'll never be able to get in because I'm like Ben. I can't spend a day and a half camping outside
no.
the well.
No,
Like, it's just not going to
no
happen.
way. No way. You're
Now,
absolutely right.
I might show up at 5 a.m. on the day before and then sell my place in line. I might do that.
Dude, seriously, that is
And
an
then
investment we
use
need to get into.
And then use that money to go to the Andrew Yang fundraiser.
Oh my goodness! Why would you give money to
I like
Andrew
it.
Yang?
I like it a lot.
Tombstone?
Honestly, I don't really care about seeing Andrew Yang, but I really want to see Dave Chappelle.
Consider it.
Okay,
Consider
okay.
it like Trump giving him money to go to see Andrew Yang.
The weird thing is Trump, or not Trump, Chappelle supporting Yang. When Chappelle has come out in the past with some very conservative views, and that kind of weirds me out a little bit.
Yeah, but he's still a Democrat. I think
You ready?
I think it does speak to Dave Chappelle, though, that he has chosen someone who's not invested in hardcore identity politics. So that's good for him, I guess. But I don't know.
I agree with that. I think of all the people he could have picked on the left, he's probably one of the better ones.
I'm honestly somewhat surprised that he's showing up for anyone. But I think it would have been Yang or Tulsi Gabbard.
There you go. Oh, so did you see? Was it yesterday? After all of Joe Rogan's fawning over Tulsi, he told Bernie he was going to vote for him in the primary.
Here's the thing, though. It's been, how long has it been since Rogan said Tulsi he was probably going to vote for her? It's been like 6 or 7 months, right?
No, he had her on the show a couple days ago, or a couple weeks ago, like December.
Did he say he was going to vote for her? That
you made it sound like it was like literally 2 days ago. Hey, got her on the show and then backstabbed her. Yeah,
because he had her on. He had her on in like June or July.
Yeah, had her on then, and then had her on again in December.
But this is a totally different electoral landscape for Rogan. So I mean, Tulsi's not going to win. Like, it's just not going to happen.
She's not.
So it makes sense for him if you're gonna shut up, Ben. Let me have my.
Andrew Yang's not going to win either. You know that, right?
Let me have my presidential fantasies intact, okay?
I'm telling you, the dream team ticket for the left is Yang Tulsi. It's a moderate Democrat ticket.
Nobody likes Asians. That's the whole thing. He's never going to get in.
Not everybody
not
is racist
get
like
in.
What
you.
are you saying about that?
I'm saying
that may
look
be the
at
most
the
racist
Democrat
thing I've ever heard Ben say.
Look at the Democrat debates.
Let's
they
listen to him
completely ignored him.
You're right.
They completely ignored him.
You think it's because he's Asian, though?
Yes, I think it is. I think it's because they're intimidated by Asians.
Didn't they ignore Cory Booker and Julio? What's his face?
Yes, they have ignored. Have you noticed how old and white the Democrat nominees are?
I have. I really have.
I'm just saying.
And now we've got Joe Rogan out there. Joe Rogan's out there endorsing the oldest and whitest of them all.
And then you have Bloomberg come along and be like, "Hey, it's the old white people race. Let me get in on this."
Yeah, I know. Bloomberg's like, I'm not going to be beat. I'm not going to be beat to the White House by some old socialist.
I just want to be clear.
Some other guy with a Jewish last name.
I just want to be clear that Ozzy was in no way disparaging Asian people in his comment. He was pointing out a harsh reality of politics.
I'm just saying that. No, seriously. Have you seen anybody in politics that's Asian besides Andrew Yang?
Very few.
Right.
I mean, Tulsi is technically Asian too.
I don't know if everybody's just intimidated by them. I mean, they are mad good at everything they do.
So this is an interesting thing. I was reading an article a couple months ago by a woman who was Asian who said that throughout the Asian society there's a revering of white people, of Caucasians.
What does that mean?
That's news to me.
Well, I don't know, and it was just a very interesting thing. Like, you'll never be as good as you might be educationally as good as, but you'll never achieve. You'll never, and so it's almost like this constant competition within their families to be good or better, and that's part of the reason why they end up.
I need to ask you guys something right now. Are you guys familiar with the website predictit.org?
Yes.
Okay, so
it's the betting site for politics.
So 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, I put $10 in Predictit just to see how much I would lose. And
So how much of that 10 did you lose?
How much
Tombstone?
did you spend on
So far,
Yang?
I've lost.
Put it all on Yang, didn't you?
$7. No, I didn't. So I lost most of it on a bet that Trump would not get impeached before the new year, and I actually almost got that one, but they decided. I basically bet they wouldn't want to push it through for the new year. They'd postpone, and they didn't. So I always figured he would be impeached, but nobody cares. So here's the interesting thing, though, because I put money on Elizabeth Warren, because she was her shares. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's an 8. Or actually, it's more than that. It's 25. There's 25 contracts for the 2020 presidential nomination. And Elizabeth Warren was pretty cheap. She was at like 15 cents. And so I thought she's probably going to get some sort of boost. She'll get some endorsement or something that'll push her up, and then I'll make like $1.50, right? Because pennies. Well, guess who is currently leading on predicted.org? Don't look it up and cheat. Just take a guess.
Hillary.
No.
Bernie.
These are serious bets.
I'm on this, and I still can't tell you what it is.
It is Bernie.
Yeah.
But guess who's running above Elizabeth Warren?
I'm not sure how to look at this.
Bloomberg is. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Okay, so here, guys. I mean, I know this.
For those curious, Bernie Sanders is trading at 39 cents for a yes. Joe Biden's trading at 34 cents for a yes. Michael Bloomberg's trading at 14. Elizabeth Warren's at 9.
I don't know what any of this means.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's out of 100.
Michelle
it's out of a full
Obama
dollar.
here.
It's out of a full dollar.
I'm looking at Michelle Obama here, and she's 6 cents yes and 94 cents no that she'll run.
Right. So the consensus in the market is a no.
And let's see, Hillary Clinton's only at 10 cents to 90 no.
Yeah, those people are going to lose their money. That's like free money. Like, you might as well just go ahead and buy the 90s and make it'll be 5 cents by the time you pay fees and everything, but it's like free 5% return on your money.
Oh man.
Unless Hillary wins in a brokered convention, that would be, let me put it this way. If I had $10,000, which you can't put that much in it, but if I had $10,000 on Hillary Clinton losing, not getting the presidential nomination, and then she did it, I would be so tickled I wouldn't even care about losing all my money.
Would you be tickled pink?
See, I don't even know. I don't even quite understand what you're talking about here. But
so you're basically, all you're doing is you're putting down cents on the dollar on how likely an event is to occur. So if the event does occur, then your shares go up to 100 cents.
Interesting.
But they can fluctuate in between time. They can go up and down, so you can trade it just like a stock, even before anything actually happens that you're betting on.
I'm still
confused. Take a look at it. Okay. Just take a look at it at some point. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't recommend putting much money in it because you will lose it.
Well, right.
But there are professionals.
So I realize this is totally different topic than what we were going for earlier, and that's fine.
Well, that's what you do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. Yes.
That's what we do. Did you hear Bloomberg? Video has been circling Bloomberg on taxes over the last couple weeks.
Tell me more.
Has been circling. Well, I'm just going to let Bloomberg speak for himself here. Does that sound okay?
No, but
do it anyway. Do it.
Here we go. It should be.
Say, well, taxes are regressive, but in this case, yes, they are. That's the good thing about them, because the problem is in people that don't have a lot of money. And so higher taxes should have a bigger impact on their behavior and how they deal with themselves. So I listen to people saying, oh, we don't want to tax the poor. Well, we want the poor to live longer so that they can get an education and enjoy life. And that's why you do want to do exactly what a lot of people say you don't want to do. The question is, do you want to pander to those people, or do you want to get them to live longer? And there's just no question. If you raise taxes on full sugary drinks, for example, they will drink less. And there's just no question that full sugar drinks are one of the major contributors to obesity, and obesity is one of the major contributors to heart disease and cancer and a variety of other things. So it's like saying, I don't want to stop using coal because coal miners will go out of work. Well, will lose their jobs. We have a lot of soldiers in the United States, in the U.S. Army, but we don't want to go start a war just to give them something to do. And that's exactly what you're saying when you say, well, let's keep coal killing people because we don't want coal miners to lose their jobs. The truth of the matter is there aren't very many coal miners left anyways, and we can find other things for them to do. But the comparison is a life or a job, or taxes or life. Which do you want to do? Take your poison.
I need the first response on this.
It is good.
Hold on. You'll get it.
There are lots of tax experts in the room and fiscal experts, and I'm very pleased that they hear you say that.
Is this Davos?
And they all say the two things in life which are absolutely certain. One is death, the other one is tax. So you use one to defer the other one.
That's correct.
Okay.
That is exactly right. Well said.
Wow.
What forum is that in?
Yeah.
This is the International Monetary Fund, and that's with the chairman of the International Monetary Fund.
Okay.
And that was June of I think that was June of last year.
So two things. This is what they call in activism saying the quiet part out loud. Okay? This is actually the heart of progressivism.
This is what
this is what
think.
it's all about.
Yes.
This is absolutely. It doesn't even make me mad. I think we should just acknowledge that this is the political reality on the ground. Okay, conservatives, yes, they may want to control your lives in some ways, but I don't know if anything conservatives want to do is quite that onerous and quite that big brotherish. Okay, number two, how much worse on a scale of 1 to 10, where Mitt Romney is a 1? How much worse is this worse than Mitt Romney's 47% of people are never going to vote Republican comment?
Yes.
Thank you, Ben.
I don't know if it's worse or not.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I don't know which one you're talking about, to be honest with you.
Let me
I don't
it.
remember that.
Let me find it. Hang on.
I wasn't exactly
what are you
following Romney at
suggesting
that time.
by this? I mean, I think.
Are you suggesting that there's not really that much difference between Republicans and Democrats when it comes to big government?
No. No. I'm just saying what Mitt Romney said was actually.
Oh, I remember what he said. I remember that now.
It was practical. It was practical, but not malevolent, right? And people construed it as malevolent. And here's a quote of Donald Trump talking about it. I wonder what Donald Trump had to say about it 7 years ago. But he basically said, I'm looking on YouTube and I can't find an easy link that has the direct quote. But he basically said 47% of people are never going to vote Republican no matter what. And a large part of that is because they have no tax liability under the current regime. So they have no, not that they have no tax liability, is that they're benefiting from entitlements in some way.
Oh.
Okay, so I would agree with that.
Okay.
Right. It was a very practical statement. And
he got attacked.
And he got attacked for it. It was called they called it a gaffe. Everything was a gaffe back in 2012. And I mean, what Bloomberg has said is basically the progressive side of the coin, which I think is considerably worse. Which is it's worse than saying entitlements are an insurmountable obstacle for Republicans. Which he's basically saying, not only do we need to increase taxes on the poor, but we're going to do it for their own good.
Yes.
Like, that's, I mean, again, I'm not really surprised, but
oh my goodness.
I'm glad we're all on the same page now about what progressivism is actually all about.
Right.
Especially Northeastern progressivism.
Yeah, you're not faking
that atrocious Brooklyn accent he has.
Did you guys see the article that was floating around? I may have sent it to you guys about how dollar stores are being not allowed into urban centers.
I haven't seen that. I know, but I do know somebody who's raising unholy hell about a Dollar General they're trying to build in Brevard.
In Brevard,
yeah.
But
to be fair, Brevard already has a handful. So,
but who cares?
Well,
who cares?
They're ugly, and if you're a person who cares about the aesthetics of your town, then Dollar General is anathema. Okay, I'm not. I should probably be careful because I actually like this person, even though we disagree on many things. But I suspect it has more to do with the type of people that go to Dollar General than the Dollar General itself.
Well, right, and so the point was.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
The
sit here in my Carhartt coat.
the whole point was that they should be shopping at higher priced places because that would help their. It was a very similar argument to taxes are good for people because it keeps them
If you can find that, send that over. I'd be very interested.
Oh, here, I got it. Actually,
did I send that to you?
No, but I looked it up. With the Google.
The Google machine.
With the Google machine.
It's my favorite.
That wasn't the article I found.
Oh, I don't know. This one is basically, it sounds more or less like...
So you guys talk about that, and I'm going to find the article that I found.
Sorry. It kind of sounds like it's more or less like they're not getting quality, good products at Dollar General. So it's like there's no fruits, no fresh vegetables, fruits, or meats in most dollar stores.
So this, I did find the article, by the way.
All right.
So this was what's driving the dollar store bans. Could it be lack of empathy? And this was written the 23rd. So this 2 days ago, 2020, by Laura Williams. She's a doctor of communication strategy.
That doesn't sound like a real degree.
I don't know, but it was an interesting article. So basically, she said that there's battles going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Mesquite, Texas, DeKalb County, Georgia, and New Orleans, and other municipalities where they are trying to limit the number of dollar stores to serve the population. And her argument is it's racism that they're trying to keep, that they are trying not to open up these stores.
So, here's the thing.
Listen to the point.
Yeah.
Lower income people shop at Dollar Generals, and if you don't have a Dollar General, your area will not attract lower income people. Therefore, your value of property won't go down.
Yep.
Therefore,
yep.
It's all about this. We've talked about it before on the show, the gentrification.
Okay, folks. Here's the great untold. It's not really a lie. I think it's just people just don't understand it, or they choose not to understand it. Poor rural whites and poor urban blacks are fighting some of the exact same battles.
Yes, they are.
And there's a lot. I mean, there's poor urban whites too that are fighting some of the same battles. But speaking broadly, we tend to see rural whites and urban blacks as having wildly divergent political interests, and in my experience, it's just not true. Now, they may not always get along, although a lot of times they do.
I would say arguably most times they get along, but the media doesn't want to show them getting along. Therefore,
right, and it
doesn't fit the narrative.
And there is a thing, like there's no doubt that rural whites do vote Republican in overwhelming numbers, and even if that same demographic is benefiting from entitlements, like that's just one of the things about the political landscape is that rural whites a lot of them use entitlements and they still vote Republican. It is what it is. But urban blacks vote Democrat in overwhelming numbers. So, anyways, but from a cultural standpoint, from how urban whites look at them, they fight some of the same battles. This is just a manifestation of that. That's what I'm getting at.
No, I agree with you on that. I absolutely agree with you on that. It was funny because back a couple years ago, whenever I would see, and this is probably 10, 15 years ago now, whenever I would see a Dollar General go up, I kept thinking, oh man, the town's going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it is. I think Dollar General has made, or dollar stores in general, are targeting these communities because they know that these communities can afford to shop there. They can't afford to shop other places.
Don't they often have stuff on the shelves that's the same as what you would get at like a Walmart or whatever?
Oh yeah, exactly. Just at much cheaper prices.
Yeah.
And
stuff that fell off the back of a truck or whatever.
It's funny because
dented cans are cheap. Just saying, nothing wrong with it.
No, there's not. We shopped our share of dented can stores when I was a kid.
So I have to confess, I haven't actually been in a dollar store in a really long time. Maybe I should make that my homework for this week.
We go in every once in a while, but I mean, most of the time we don't make it. Like, I mean, there's one across from where I work, so I run in there every once in a while to get certain things. But it doesn't always mean that it's cheaper. It's just
it's convenient.
It's more convenient than going up like 3 miles to the road to Walmart.
So Dollar Tree is the only place that actually still has everything for $1. And then Family Dollar and Dollar General have like a bunch of products that are only $1. But there's also stuff in there for like $2 to $10, and I don't think anything's over $10. But the she makes
no,
a,
I have,
she makes
I have
an
been
interesting.
in the cousin. I have been in the cousin to Dollar General, which is Ollie's, and Ollie's is amazing.
So this writer Lauren Williams here makes an interesting thought. Critics object when suburban growth sends stores running for whiter, more affluent suburbs, but dollar stores' explicit attempts to reverse this trend to set up affordable retail options in poor, underserved neighborhoods are somehow the target of scorn. A couple paragraphs later, a Tulsa councilwoman begrudgingly confirmed that dollar retailers offer essentials like toothpaste, school supplies, bread, and eggs in areas where supermarkets have consistently failed.
Well,
and I think that's very interesting. I think it's very interesting.
I can tell you why that might be the case, though. Theft. That's why.
It may or may not be. I'm telling you, there's a lot of communities here in Nebraska that have very few other stores that have a Dollar General. And why is that? They can't support.
That is true. I was thinking more in the urban context, but yes, you're correct.
They cannot support a Walmart. They can't support a convenience store. But when they've got a Dollar General willing to come in that offers the staples, the milk, the eggs, the butter, the bread, and the easy things that you need to pick up. Oh, crap, I lost, my 2-year-old dropped my toothbrush in the toilet this morning. Mm-hmm. You can pick one up there, and it's fine. It's needed.
When's the last time that happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
But Aaron was at Dollar General this morning.
I live in constant fear of Trevor grabbing my toothbrush to clean something. Because it's like I need to build a high shelf for it just to keep it up and away.
That's hilarious.
And so it's interesting because as the article goes on, it talks about how it's really a misunderstanding. These council members do not understand the society or the culture that they are reaching, and the council or the society that they are serving, and they don't care. They do not care because they think that by limiting this stuff that they are going to get rid of
they're going
the poor.
To make the world better.
So, but anyways, to bring it full circle here, back to the point, taxes don't make people healthier.
What?
Taxes don't make people healthier. Simple as that. All I'm saying. You can attempt to force a change in people, but you can only force a change so much.
You know what?
They're going to find
healthier
other things.
Is if we limited how big a soda that they can get from McDonald's.
What was the drink in Parks and Rec? The 180 ounce or whatever.
Did you guys ever watch the Super Size Me documentary?
I did not. I have not seen that.
Seen it.
That's actually quite interesting. I mean, it's pretty gross.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it because I hate watching people do unhealthy things.
What was really funny is the guy just eats and eats and eats McDonald's for however long it was, a couple months.
I've heard there's some things about the documentary that were not quite on the level.
And that wouldn't surprise me. But what's funny is they interview this one guy in the documentary, and he literally eats McDouble or not McDoubles. What's the one with the 3 buns?
I have no idea.
Big Mac. The Big Mac.
The Big Mac. He's literally eating a Big Mac like every day for like 30 years.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
He eats Big Macs, and he's like, I don't know about healthy, but he's not like fat or anything. It's really quite funny.
Well, I mean, it really depends on how you're using it. If you're sitting at home playing video games all day, that's one thing. But I mean, you can easily burn a Big Mac in a day.
What's up with like really rich people having horrible diets?
I'm not.
Oh, that's interesting.
Honestly,
that I don't understand.
Honestly, in America,
'Cause
wealth is a strong corollary for low BMI and better diet.
But I'm talking about like who's the really rich guy that eats? Because apparently Trump eats horribly, from what I've heard.
Yeah, but Trump's a boomer. That's different.
I'm just saying. I
mean, have you seen a before and after picture from Jeff Bezos and what he looked like in 1999 versus what he looks like now?
I haven't.
Something that I was willing to Google.
Oh man. Hang on.
Okay.
You guys are waiting on this, aren't you?
Yes.
You were the one that
while you're looking for that story, I just want to bounce back to this article here real quick.
I can't promise that Mr. Bezos is, as they say, all natty.
So residents of Chester, Vermont rejected a proposed dollar store because residents feared the beginning of the end for Vermont's Chesteriness or Vermontiness.
So this maybe this is just me, but Vermont is a strange place.
This was back
there. You
in
go.
2012.
I just sent you a picture of Jeff Bezos before and after.
And that was an actual quote, by the way.
Well, Vermont is like that though. Vermont is full of.
But again, look who's leaving Tombstone. Look who's leaving Vermont. The middle class and poor left Vermont. I left Vermont. I couldn't afford it. I've got friends in Vermont right now who they live there, but they don't know if they can have families there because they don't have money.
Yeah,
they can't afford it. You know the 2 income gap or whatever.
It's a 2 income trap because it's a playground for the rich. No, you're right.
And you can't afford it, and they are solidifying it as the playground for the rich.
Just to get to the photo, I have actually, I know what happened. He's actually a T800. I'm just saying.
What's wrong with him? He looks cool, man.
Nothing's wrong with him. I think that's what Ben's saying.
Dude, if I had
besides the fact that he basically turned into a Terminator robot,
what in the world? If I had $150 billion, $75 billion now.
He completely did that. Like, there's no way that this man turned into that man.
Like I said, he's not. It's not all natural. Okay,
so,
I just sent you an in-between picture. I just sent you an in-between picture with his ex-wife, who I actually kind of think is cute.
It sure looks terrifying. It looks like he's in Cabo, or not Cabo. It looks like he's in Puerto Vallarta, right there in the photo.
Oh, of course. I completely know why that would be.
It looks like it. Anyways,
okay.
In the photo with him in the suit. Anyways, I'm looking at the picture.
It looks like San Francisco to me, or Washington.
It might be. I mean, but it looks very similar.
I think I could see a little red in his eye. Definitely a T800.
He looks like a very happy man.
Idiot. I think he's an absolute idiot for getting rid of his wife.
Well, yes. Oh, so you want to get into some conspiracy theories?
How did we get here?
You want to go into some conspiracy theories, Tombstone?
Yes, lay it on me. Lay it on me, please.
Yes. Okay. This week, it came out.
Mine solves everything.
That a Saudi prince's Snapchat or Instagram or whatever. This
has been debunked.
Has it? Oh,
yes.
Man.
Somebody, I forget where that came from. I don't know if it came from. I think it actually came from Bezos. I think he was actually blowing smoke up somebody's butt.
Nice.
It was actually the girlfriend that leaked the chat.
Was it really?
Up somebody's butt.
Well, she's a terrible person,
or an ex-girlfriend. I'm not sure which. I don't know.
Well, of which track. He's had probably many. Look,
but
guys,
it wasn't Mohammed bin Salman. It was the chick.
I have no respect for a guy who screws. Oh, wait, I'm gonna back that up. Who cheats on his wife?
Nice.
I don't. I just don't.
Take us out. Take us out. There's no recovering from that.
I don't. I no respect for the man. The horrible man. I'm glad he lost half his money. The worst part is his wife was probably doing the same thing.
But she looks so nice.
All right, guys, back on the topic we were going to talk about earlier.
Let's derail it again.
Let's derail it again, because that's what we do best. There is a church in... Ooh, that's nice, Ozzy. Why are you doing this to me? That's really nice.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that. I don't want to talk about that on the air yet, though, Ozzy.
All right.
I know. All right. That's nice. That's really nice.
Soon. California.
Yes. We have talked about the business opportunities, and that we're derailing this conversation again.
Church thing. I still have no idea what you're talking about.
Church thing.
Neither me nor my hair.
This is out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota. A struggling church asks older members to go away to appeal to younger families. Now let me.
So this is like who were we just talking about? Who was it Bloomberg that just said this?
Yes.
This is like Bloomberg theology right here. Get rid of something to get something, because your numbers will only go up.
So let me explain the story to you guys.
Right.
Grove United Methodist Church in the St. Paul suburb of Cottage Grove is closing in June. It's going to relaunch in November. The present members, most of them are over 60
So first of all,
old.
the fact that they're using the phrase relaunch
Relaunch?
means I'm already out. I want nothing to do with it.
Just listen.
It's
just
a
listen.
church relaunch. That's the new thing.
You don't launch a church. It's not a startup. Go ahead.
It is now.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
agree.
now.
I mean, they do say your church should be like a bit run like a business.
Yes and no. There's a fine line between the two.
Like a hospital, it doesn't make any money.
Or
having been on both
old
sides.
People?
Well, this one won't. So the present members are mostly over 60, and they've been invited to worship elsewhere.
Wait. So somebody invited them, or they were invited by their current church to worship
basically
somewhere
told
else?
You're going to worship elsewhere.
Invited.
They are also going to be asked to stay away for 2 years, then consult the pastor about reapplying to attend that church.
What?
Seems
I'm
awfully
not
harsh.
kidding. I'm not kidding. So
stupid. I have two simple questions.
Yes. Okay.
Remember, we're a family show.
What is the church really? Except
you said it was
people.
Methodist, right? Oh.
Right.
So they're barely a church. Did I say that out loud? I'm so sorry. What is the church except for its people?
Okay.
Like, if you tell all the people to go away, do you still have a church, or do you have a building that needs people?
So
that sounds like they're trying to empty out the building so they can start a new church.
Yes, I would not call this a relaunch. I would call this the council, the Methodist Council, or whatever it is.
Clearly, the church is not dying; it's being strangled by the leadership.
Well,
but here's the thing. Here's another thing, though. If the church is due to close, anyways, like if they're going to have to close because they don't have enough people, then it may be all the same. And it's entirely possible that the congregation came up with this idea themselves.
Right. So the congregation could actually be the issue. So I don't know Methodist polity. I don't know how.
It could be that like a bunch of nice old people in the building said, "Hey, we're scaring away the young people. Maybe we should, leave the building."
Well, they're
alone
against it.
And see. Oh, the congregation is against it.
The congregation is
never
very
mind.
much against it.
So this is being foisted upon them by their leadership.
Yeah. So
that's totally different. Very bad. Very bad indeed.
I believe, if I remember correctly, that there are deacons as part of deacons make up a board in a Methodist church. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And that
is it UFC or UMC?
It's United Methodist Church. Yes.
Okay.
And so I believe that they are run by a deacon board made up of people within the church, but their oversight comes from a larger organization in the area, right? So the church is a product of a merger with a larger church in Woodbury in 2008. Now, Cottage Grove Church has struggled with its membership and finances. 7 years ago, the Methodist officials said they could no longer pay for its minister, so it switched to lay ministry with weekly sermons by members. Now, the church's attendance and finances stabilized, and they have an average weekly attendance of 25. The church, Cottage Grove, the town, is growing quickly, and the church should be growing with it, said Reverend Dave Wetterstrom, head of the 2-location Grove Church.
This just sounds like a really dysfunctional environment.
Yes, it does. The Methodist regional body is paying $250,000 to restart the church. They have hired a specialist who starts new churches, 30-year-old Jeremy Peters, who moved to Cottage Grove with his wife and 2 kids for the relaunch probably November. It's a new thing with a new mission for a new target and a new culture, he said. The older members would not be physically barred from attending, Peter said, but the expectation is they won't. We're asking them to let this happen, Reverend Wetterstrom said. For this to be truly new, we can't have the core group of 30 people. The members of the new church have other options. They can come to Woodbury during this phase.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't even know how to respond. As a guy who served on church leadership, this is bad. So the only thing I can think of...
This is like euthanasia for church.
The only thing I can think of, and this was a friend of mine was mentioned this last night, maybe the church leadership within that church is toxic already.
Yeah.
And they realize that and are trying to put the kibosh on it. But regardless, the optics are terrible.
Yeah.
Get 25 people from a different church body to go over to that church and change things, put them in leadership or something. But you don't get rid of the entire congregation that's already there. I mean, good grief.
I really wonder if there's something we don't know about this that would make it make somewhat more sense.
That's what I'm wondering. I hope so.
I just read an article on CNN trying to explain like why it was not what it appeared to be, and it seemed to be exactly what it says. Nothing seemed like it was actually misrepresented. I don't know.
That's scary. Like it just seems weird. So this guy Jeremy Peters, I don't know who he thinks he is. But this guy who they're following blindly, I guess, he can't have spent any time in church leadership or has any experience in ministry. If this is what he suggested.
Okay.
Or at least not any good experience.
It sounded like it from the CNN article that I have just perused over. It sounded like basically, I don't know, I'm not sure how Methodist churches work exactly, but it sounded like more or less they were going to close this church and they were going to restart it as a new congregation, new worship style. You know what I mean? Like basically going from traditional to modern worship style.
Okay.
And so that's what it sounds like it is. And then they chose this guy who's the young guy to do that.
Why not allow that to happen over time?
I don't know.
Natural?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just maybe it's like the location of the church is more urban and they want it to be, you know what I mean, more young families and stuff, or I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like basically they're closing the doors to it, getting rid of that pastor and maybe the old leadership and stuff like that, and they're bringing in all new things. So it's almost like, I don't know if it's like the I don't know, whatever the Methodist Congregations Association or whatever, where it's like all the Methodist churches are doing this.
I think the Methodist churches
or if it's like,
I think that there's a bigger like overarching organization over the top of these churches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like some kind of convention, convention or something, because it sounds like they're asking the older church members to move to a different congregation, so that they can restart this church as a young congregation in modern.
But man, the optics look
It
terrible.
still is terrible.
It's horrible.
It's still terrible.
I understand, having been in church leadership, I understand the drive to attract new, younger families. I understand that. But my goodness, this is not the way to do it.
Well, I mean, it might be. We'll have to see how well it succeeds.
I wouldn't attend there. Just because of that, I would not attend a church with any of those people. And if I ran across any one of their names, you know, coming to help my church, I would beg that they not, because that's scary. Another article I wanna bring up, and this'll strike home for us. A cool Tennessee pastor gets annoyed and kicks mom and baby out of church.
Oh, wait, a cool?
This is pastor. Yes. Well, you know.
What does that mean? Like
it's an opinion.
Cold?
Does this go back to the anti-natalism thing we were talking about?
No, it doesn't. But it's interesting.
Just checking.
Yeah. No.
So
this is Dan Smith. It's a mega church, United Church in Gallatin, Tennessee.
Is the cool in quotes?
Well, it's cool Tennessee pastor.
Where's this thing? I want to look at this.
It's under the same article. It's in one of the comments I made.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no problem.
You're saying I have to log into Trello? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
oh my goodness!
You want to
be educated? To do that? No.
You want to be educated? Yes. Okay. So,
wow, that was harsh.
Dan Smith started his sermon this past Sunday, and there was a child that made a noise, described by witnesses as little more than a peep. There's a video there, but anyways, I'm gonna sum it up. Hey, ushers, can you please show them where the nursery is? I don't want to struggle with a child this whole time. So
Yikes.
Please help me out.
Yikes.
His words apparently caused some commotion in the room. So after he stopped saying that and tried to resume his sermon, he then was like, okay, let me stop just because I did that. Everyone's freaking out because I said that. Listen, we love children, and you, sweetie, look at me. We love kids, but if the child is going to affect the whole service because the child's cranky or whatever, we do have TVs that are right there in the back, so that's cool. If people get offended over that, that's okay. I'm not going to affect 250, 300 people in a room because the kid is crying. Listen, I love children, but see, everyone's focus is right there right now.
Oh,
well, yeah, the focus is right there because the pastor brought it there.
Yeah,
and sweetheart, as long as she's fine with you,
sounds like a dude with an ego.
As long as she's fine, stand there and do your thing. But I need you to understand that everyone else, somebody else got up and walked out. Do you know why they got up and walked out? They got up and walked out because the pastor made a scene out of it, and he was a jerk.
I would have walked out too.
I had a buddy say the same thing. He would have walked out as well.
I would have.
I don't know if I would have gotten up right there and then and done it, but
I would have.
But it would have been close.
I would have done that.
It would have been
if he freaked out like that because a kid was making noise. I'm sorry, but like I am a huge proponent of having children in the worship service with you.
Oh yeah, and I'm fine with that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think that is the best way to have kids in the worship service, and you're like, my kids are ridiculously loud all the time and screaming and everything else. And we've never been asked to leave. It's not as if we're like trying to let them be loud, but they're kids.
Yeah.
And so what you're telling them is that, you know what, your kids aren't welcome in the church service. This is only for adults. And this is kind of that whole mentality that kids can't understand what's going on in a church service, so they should be shooed off into the back.
So our church, we have kids. Our church, we have kids programs going on. We don't have a quote unquote Sunday school class necessarily before church on a Sunday morning for the kids and stuff, but we have kids programs going on during church during that time for them to go to.
Right.
But there's a lot of families that keep their kids in church.
Right. But
and
still,
that's
have you ever had an issue with I mean like having an issue with somebody keeping their kid in there?
No.
Because it's a kid, not because the kid's making noise.
We intentionally,
that's the problem.
We intentionally, every fifth Sunday, if there's a month with a fifth Sunday, we specifically call it Family Sunday. And it is meant for the entire church to worship together, the entire family to worship together. Like that is and children's ministry shut down. There is no children's ministries at all, and the entire family worships together. And it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I understand the argument that kids learn on a different level, and it's somewhat true, Ozzy. It's somewhat true.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
yes, it is.
Not.
Yes, it is. Anyways,
no, it's not.
Anyways, either way, what this guy did is ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. As a parent with kids, now I have hauled my kid out of church before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The most.
And there is a time and a place for that, but I mean, like this guy's he's too concerned that people cannot be adults and work through the fact that there is a kid that's having whatever issue, and I'm sure that mom, I think it was a mom, right?
She probably felt terrible,
sure, dude. Seriously, like. That is a great way to extremely embarrass somebody.
I would never be back after that
and
service.
make them feel absolutely horrible.
So there was one day we're sitting there, we're like 3 rows back from the front of the church, and we've got like 15 rows. Auditorium holds like 600 people, 700 people. I think it's 600 people. Anyway, so we're sitting there off in one side, and Myron decides he's going to lay across Mama's lap, and then kick. And that's not going to happen. He's like kicking people around him, kicking me, almost hitting the person in front of us. And then he starts talking loud. And I'm like, this is very distracting. This is going to cause issues. And so I fireman carry him over my shoulder out of the church because he's just flailing. He's flailing.
I've done that.
And I throw him over the shoulder and I walk back. It was hilarious because after church, he was like, there was a guy who was sitting in there, just total other section, sees me in the back afterwards and like, nice fireman carry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know.
This is what makes me so empathetic towards people like in grocery stores and stuff. I used to get like when I was younger, I used to be like, seriously, you people can't control your kids in a grocery store.
No, you can't.
Dude,
you can't.
It is like insane. You could threaten them within an inch of their life and they'll still not do what you ask them to do.
My kids are just fairly obedient, but still there's days. Man. There's days.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know you run a tight ship in your house and like he's like, no, not a chance.
No.
You still expect obedience.
Absolutely.
But I think there's something to be said though about that. Like there's freedom, but there's also when I say jump, you better jump. Because there's a reason I'm saying it. I'm not saying it just because I want to.
Right.
It's like it's going to help you or hurt you. Like
yeah.
You need to listen because when I say stop, I don't want you running out in front of a car.
Right.
And like that's why when Daddy says stop immediately, you stop.
Yep.
And it's for your own good. I'm not doing this just because I'm crazy.
So what are your thoughts, Tombstone?
I don't have to take my kids to the store.
You let your
but
wife
my wife
you
informs me that they're usually very well behaved.
Yeah. Wait till you have like 3 or 4 like Aaron.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Love it.
Trevor is in what people like to call the terrible twos right now, where everything's disagreeable.
Terrible twos turns into 3, 4s, and 5s. Just saying,
it's true. Myron, for some reason, never went through that stage. We don't know why. We're very confused.
My boys are horrible altogether. Like if you have the 2 boys and then my girl all together, they will trash the entire house. If you take them on one at a time, like if I take one child out with me to the store or something, they're amazing.
So our boys feed off each other, which is terrible. Yep. And so did I say this last week on the show about Trevor?
I don't know, you haven't said it yet.
I don't know. I'll say it again. We'll see.
Do it.
So last week I'm gone on a work trip, and Trevor. Mom was like, hey, Trevor, Myron, we got to get you dressed. And Myron screams, Trevor, she's trying to put clothes on us. And Trevor yells, no, Mime, fight it. And I'm like, what? What? Really?
Fight the future, man.
Fight it. Fight it.
And then
do all toddlers, small children go through a phase where they just don't keep clothes on?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
My oldest went through a phase where she was changing clothes like 5 times a day, and you couldn't keep her in clothes between the changes. It was, again, not something I had to deal with, but my poor wife. I would get home, my wife would give me the tally of outfits that had been gone through that day.
Myron's at the point now where he likes to get himself dressed, which is cool. I mean, it's better than him walking out of the bathroom with no clothes on.
Yes,
but I mean,
marginally,
kids have no shame when it comes to that.
No, they don't.
I mean,
I can't say that they don't. I have my 3-year-old will walk stark naked through the house to get clothes to get on.
Yeah,
but we'll wear not pants most of the day.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we'll have somebody come over, and he will not come out of his room
without pants
on.
Funny, isn't that?
And
funny?
It's very funny, and I don't know why it is. But yeah, he gets very concerned if somebody comes over, like the neighbors or. Which I mean is good, but it's just
when you're running through the house screaming, "Get your clothes on, boys!"
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. As I'm fond of saying, safety third, pants fourth.
I agree.
Yes.
No, so I
just tell my kids, stop resisting.
Getting them trained for that police state, aren't you?
Absolutely.
No, so
we're all just travelers.
We get home from.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, something hilarious happened today. said in the class, somebody asked I don't say it's a dumb question. They asked a fairly obvious question about why would you not want to have a gun in your hand when the cops arrive? And I like, because there's two black guys in the class. And I'm like, ask these guys. They know. They laughed. They thought it was funny.
That's funny. Well, yeah, I mean,
oh, wow.
Good grief.
Was this the same guy that pointed the gun at everybody?
No, it was a different person, actually.
Oh.
But I actually, so this is actually kind of interesting. They had a guy there, and it was a straight up sales pitch, and I totally fell for it.
How much did you end up spending?
$100 a year.
USCCA or whatever.
It's for a service that has legal assistance that's here locally if you have something happen. So,
each their own.
And because you know what, I've already spent $5,000 or $6,000 of my own hard-earned money.
Well, right. You've
experienced
that.
It seems, I guess, to me, it seemed fairly cheap at the price. And I told the folks in the room what had happened. Every single person signed up. They had to give me a commission.
Wow! You fell for it and you sold it. Good grief, man!
I did. Nobody else in there had been to jail. I was the only one. So I told them what an acutely uncomfortable experience it was.
Yes, Tombstone was.
But guess what? If I'd had a lawyer's phone number in my pocket, I'd have been a lot less stressed.
Give me your lawyer's number.
I'm not gonna lie. We have lawyers on retainer there.
I'm gonna send you the. I'll send the program that I got.
I'm curious to see it.
The little thingy.
I'm not sold.
Basic.
I'm not sold on them working. I mean, I understand, but I'm not sold on them working because there's so many caveats.
You know, there's always that chance.
It doesn't cover you if you're stupid, which is the problem.
Yeah. Maybe not. It depends. You need to go through and read the fine print.
So let's take this to its fullest extent, Aaron. So it doesn't cover you if you're stupid, and that's the problem.
Well, no. What I'm saying is if you break a law for a dumb reason,
right,
it's not going to help you.
So what you're saying is the reason you don't have any lawyers on retainer is because
I'm a sovereign citizen, Ozzy.
It wouldn't help anyway.
I'm a sovereign citizen, Ozzy. It's true. It is true.
The way it was sold to us is if you use your handgun in self-defense, you don't have to say anything to the cops. You just call your defense attorney via the service, and you're golden.
Interesting.
Right.
So they basically said, "Don't talk to the police." Which is
nothing at all.
Pretty good advice.
It's not horrible advice.
Other than I fired my weapon to defend myself, and I want to talk to my attorney before I give a statement.
Oh, right. Okay. That works.
It's also good advice.
Which, because you just to be clear, you can say whatever you want to the cops and then say I need an attorney, and they have to give it to you.
And the reason this is appealing is not because. So there's in South Carolina, at least, other states maybe not as much. In South Carolina, there's a very good chance that if you use your weapon in self-defense, you'll skate. And it won't be a problem. But you don't know that because sometimes cops and solicitors get a wild hair and you're going for a ride. Like you may go for that ride.
Yes,
exactly. So if you use your gun in self-defense, then you're not and you get charged with something fairly or unfairly, then you don't have to come up with a $40,000 criminal defense attorney retainer. So
I can see the benefits of that, but man, I get so worked up over spending an extra $100 a year.
Again, 100, like I said, for me, $100 a year, it's cheap at the price.
See, and honestly, in my situation, unless I see someone flagrantly with a firearm coming after me, I'm going to be very, very. I'm not going to entertain entering. I know
a guy that pushed a guy away from him in self-defense in Las Vegas. And he was charged with murder because the guy fell. He was drunk and fell and hit his head and died in the hospital 3 days later.
Really?
And they charged him with murder. He was a youth pastor from a church in the Midwest.
Wow! Yeah. Wow! No, see, I mean,
it's not common. I'm not trying to say this is like a super common thing. It's not. But
And see, that's my concern with it is I think there's a lot of these companies out there making a ton of money off people. I mean, just look at their stocks.
Probably.
Just look at these companies' stocks, and I'm like, like there was USCCA is one. There's the NRA had one for a while.
The NRA had one, and apparently it went under. They couldn't make money at it, which, if they could have made money, they would have kept it open.
Well, the NRA was making money elsewhere, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They were probably siphoning off funds for their other projects. I mean, they had to pay Wayne LaPierre. They had to pay Wayne LaPierre.
That was the other thing. The instructor gave us a hard sell on the NRA. I had to bite my tongue. I was like, yeah, so we can pay for Wayne LaPierre's mistress to go to the pool club.
Exactly.
No, thank you.
I'm not doing that.
I did not say that, to my credit.
Good job.
If it had been a bigger room, I might have. But
Gun Owners of America.
It was a really small room, and I was sitting right next to him.
Gun Owners of America is a much better institution, and they don't have a shady past.
Oh yeah, he was taking credit. He was saying, "Oh yeah, we got to donate to the NRA because of all this stuff going on in Virginia." I'm like, "Yeah, you need to donate to VCDL because they're actually getting stuff done."
NRA hasn't stepped foot in Virginia, and in fact made the comment that they would be willing to compromise. The official statement from the PR person at the NRA said we would work to defeat Northam or compromise.
So almost everybody signed up for the legal thing, but only one person signed up for the NRA.
Well, so what was the demographic of your class today? Was it mostly folks our age?
It was two black guys that were my age or a little younger, and there was two other guys who are maybe a little older than me, and then two older white guys. And is that everybody? There was 8 of us.
Boy, small class.
And there were two other guys. There was only 8 of us. There was only 8 of us.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than the two older guys, everybody was fairly young. I would say younger than 35.
And was it the older guy that joined the NRA?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, and I know we have listeners out there who support the NRA.
Try me.
And so, but
I have an unpopular opinion for every day of the week.
I know it's
Tombstone at the front porch show.
That's right, Tombstone at the front porch show. If you have a problem with what I'm saying about the NRA, the NRA has a very speckled past when it comes to supporting gun rights. They didn't do anything when it came to the bump stock ban. I personally think bump stocks are stupid, but I don't think they should be banned. They also have come out in favor of some of the red flag laws. They have they've supported some of the states in their or haven't fought, I should say. They've been quite tacit about certain states banning certain firearms just willy-nilly, even though they're well used in the rest of the country. And they're very weak. And if you follow the money, most of it gets given to the president, Wayne LaPierre. Wayne LaPierre is a very big, and the board is a very big beneficiary of all the money that is sent to the NRA. When you actually look at the lobbying funds that are spent by the NRA, it's not much, and in comparison to what they're taking in. And so I personally, after studying it out, I can't support the NRA. I'd rather support Gun Owners of America, which is much more constitutionally based. I can't do it. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I hate to say it's a bit of a boycott, but I'm not going to support a lobbying organization that doesn't actually lobby for what I need, or lobby for my rights, and they're just not doing it. So. I'm out when it comes to the NRA, and I am very vocal against them. And call in with your thoughts. 1-402-799-1811. Are you an NRA supporter, or do you support another organization, or do you not support any? And what's your reasoning for it? I don't support any right now because I think that a grassroots fight is much. And I hate using the word fight. A grassroots. Organized, what do I want to call that? I don't know. What is
struggle?
Tombstone?
Resistance?
No, I don't want to call it that.
Hashtag resist. Hashtag
Whatever.
red wave. Hashtag MAGA.
Hashtag we're going to break.
2020.
Hashtag there's the music.
Boom.
Hashtag I was muted.
Smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa.
That was a non-gendered person, Ken, and you just gave it a gender.
I tried this one chili that set my mouth on fire, and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
All right, leave this guy alone with his poor constipated poops. We're going to come back and talk about politics. That's what really matters here. Which I don't think that anymore. I don't think politics is what really matters.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But it was an amazing quote.
We spend a staggeringly little amount of time on the show talking about politics, and I think it's amazing.
We actually focus more on culture.
That's actually
we talk more about pastors that their children out of their church than we have about politics in this segment.
Listen, don't start that again. I just got over thinking about that.
Dude, I spent over 2 hours yesterday steaming and screaming over text.
At whom?
Well, no, not at someone. It was because of that story. Like, I was mad. I was really mad. It really worked me up.
It is. It is unfortunate.
Tell us how you really feel.
It was not nice. Wow. Tombstone, I stumbled across this week. I stumbled across an article this week that was pure South Carolina.
I actually had somebody text this to me.
I don't know if you're qualified to talk about what is pure South Carolina and what is not, but I'll let it slide.
Having lived there for, a long time.
Did you ever get out in the weeds, though?
Yes. Because I would
convince me.
I would sneak off campus and go up to Traveler's Rest.
That's okay. I'm going to be really fair here. I'm going to be excruciatingly fair to you right now. I'm going to be very fair to you. 15 years ago, Traveler's Rest was a lot more in the weeds than it is now. So I'm going to allow it.
I'll let me give you a rundown of places that I've been.
If I can find my Trello, there's my Trello. Okay.
And for my look, you got to remember, I got family from Chiraw, man. There's a whole lot of Mathises living in Chiraw.
Yeah, but you're
okay.
not.
So that's where we were from, man. Chiraw, South Carolina. That's where my grandfather stole watermelons, nearly got shot.
You're making me weep.
Lived in a one-room cabin with his mom and, I don't know, 5 sisters.
That explains what's wrong with you today.
Where was your family when Atlanta got burned?
Great-grandpa ran off of the railroad.
They were 2 counties up watching it. Watching the smoke rise in the air.
I
couldn't tell. Was that a serious question?
No, I was trying to prove my authority.
Yeah, you didn't really get me. No.
Quality.
Pickens. Was Pickens hick enough for you, Tombstone?
Yeah, it is.
Pickens. What about
I gotta say I did appreciate the post on the Facebook page about Gettysburg. What was it? Gettysburg? Where was it?
Gettysburg,
Virginia?
South Dakota. Yes,
South Dakota. Yes. That's what it was.
Where the war didn't happen. Where the war wasn't. It's so genius. So genius.
I love
that. If that is not a good use of taxpayer money, I don't know what is.
All right, I got to read this out loud.
I like that city council.
I got to read this out loud. Georgetown, South Kakalaki, which is down the coast.
Hold on. Just before you say that, WSPA.com, News Channel 7. We got to give references.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to keep going with your thing.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right.
Let's do it.
A deputy in Georgetown County was forced to use a taser on his own K-9 on Wednesday afternoon. According to the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office, a deputy responded to the scene of a reported burglary around 4 p.m. A cow near the scene distracted the dog, which led to the dog biting the cow.
I love this so much.
I read this and it's still funny the second time, which is amazing.
Keep reading.
A cow near the scene distracted the dog, which led to the dog biting the cow. This is all from an attempted reported burglary.
Which probably wasn't a burglary. Right? In fact, we don't even care about the burglary.
Nobody even cares.
I don't. It's so good.
The cow was spooked. The cow was spooked and struck the deputy and the property owner, resulting in minor injuries. The sheriff's office said the burglary call proved to be unfounded. So all this for an unfounded burglary call. It doesn't say why he had to tase the dog. Oh, I guess the dog was was latched onto the cow.
Yeah, the dog wouldn't release from the cow.
I mean, the cow is the injured party in all this. I feel sorry for the cow.
The cow.
That dog was ready for steak, man.
I mean, imagine you're a big brown cow in a field in Georgetown County, and some darn German Shepherd comes up under your oak tree and starts nibbling on your heels, and you're like, "What's your deal, dude?" And then some stupid deputy comes up and tries to tase the dog, makes everything worse. You just bonk him out of the way, go out on your business, just do your thing, go find some grass and some hay somewhere.
Can you imagine? the dog is
I can see this in my eye. I can see this in my mind exactly how it went down.
This cow probably never knew what happened.
Doesn't that mean that the cow got tased?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be.
I mean, I guess it depends on if the dog is actually latched onto the cow.
Oh, I could completely see this cow going stiff and just falling over.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm not seeing tasing a dog. Tasing a dog does not seem like a good idea to me.
No,
probably not. No,
just for reference
here. But I guess if the dog's really keyed up, you can't grab him by the collar because they'll turn and snap at you.
Georgetown County is just south of Myrtle Beach, and so this makes a lot of sense.
I love it.
All I'm saying.
It's so funny.
There's a lot of culture down there, Myrtle Beach and Georgetown County. I've seen a lot of it. A lot of swamps. A lot of folks live in there. The fact that dueling banjos, man, dueling banjos.
By the way, I did not realize, because I looked up Georgetown County, there is a town of Graves, South Carolina.
There is. I see that. And the funny thing is a couple miles to the west, it's Andrews.
I did see that.
So Andrews Graves.
That's fascinating. Is
that where your name came from?
No.
That would have been interesting. Maybe your dad was perusing Google Maps one day.
I've met a handful of Graveses that are from that neck of the woods.
Listen.
So there's
at least some. What you just said?
What?
Okay, Ozzy. He was looking at an atlas.
Was your dad Al Gore? Like
he invented the interwebs.
Your dad.
The internet had not been. The internet was not invented when I was born.
So he was looking. He was looking.
I'm not a millennial. Well, I mean, never mind. I'm not a Zoomer. Not a Zoomer.
His dad was looking at Rand McNally, and his mom was sitting in the car, and she was like, "Look, we need to come up with names for our son." And he saw the name of the town, Graves, and looked over and saw Andrews.
I think it took my parents 3 days to come up with a name for me. So
well, that's because they, just like every other parent nowadays, they have to go through all the names of the people they don't like, because you can't use those.
For my wife, I couldn't use any names of kids that she thought that she didn't like.
That's solid. That's solid. So what's your third going to be called?
I can't say, because I have a name picked out. I have a boy name picked out that Carissa doesn't like, but I've decided that's what it's going to be named. No.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were announcing or something.
No.
It was a leading question.
Unless you know something I don't know.
No, I don't. No, that's the worst part of picking baby names is like you don't want to pick people that you don't like. And we didn't really want to pick names of people that we liked, because then it would be weird having the name of someone that we liked with like who's close with our kids. So like it would just be very confusing calling the child or calling our friend. And so you can't pick people that you like, you can't pick people you don't like. And then it comes to people that like you don't want your kid to have like a celebrity name, because that's terrible. And then you don't want your kid to have a stupid spelling name. Well, some people do. Yeah. I'm just trying to. Do you guys have any weird spelling names? I'm sorry if you do.
No. No. I think names should be easy to spell.
I was in a Bojangles in, man, I don't remember. I think it was Richmond, and there were two women at the counter.
I'm a huge fan.
Dude,
of
I haven't been in a Bojangles.
I was there for the Bowberry biscuits.
So here's the thing: Bojangles, when it's good, it's really good, but the quality seems uneven. It's kind of like Wendy's.
It is.
And that's unfortunate. Unlike Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to have a chicken biscuit, you go to Chick-fil-A if you have one, because it's always consistent. It's always the same thing. It's always amazing.
It's true.
I love you so much, Chick-fil-A.
There were two women standing there with the name of Felicia. And they were both spelled completely bizarrely, and I could hardly read them because the spelling was very, 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 very bizarre on both of them. They weren't spelled the same way.
These are women behind the counter, I'm assuming, with name tags
on?
Or
yes.
You just were randomly had names on the back of their shirts?
No, they had name tags on because they were serving at the counter. And I was like, I can't pronounce that name. And then if you give the name, that's my other thing, is when one of these parents has a weird name for their kid, and then you spell the name wrong, like you spell it the normal way, and then they get offended because you spelled it wrong. Guys,
I'm offended.
I can tell that. I can see it in your face.
Mm-hmm.
You're sad with me.
I'm so sad.
I see it. Guys, we have, for the first time in like 4 weeks, we have a Florida man story.
What?
Yay!
We do.
Has it really been that long?
It's been about 4 weeks, I think.
Wow.
Naples, Florida. Where is Naples?
Oh,
south of it's on the west coast, right?
It is south of Georgia. You're welcome.
Well, yeah. It's south of
north
Cape
of the
Coral.
Keys.
South of Cape Coral, north of Marco Island.
Where's Cape Coral?
It's basically
that helps me
Florida.
It's 0%.
Directly straight across 75 from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh,
you know that.
You couldn't have said the actual popular Florida name like Fort Lauderdale that everyone would immediately recognize and know approximately where it's at.
It's like 75 miles or 100 miles from Fort Lauderdale, so you know.
But that gets you to the approximate location.
I mean, so you got Fort Lauderdale on the Atlantic coast, and you have Naples on the other coast.
The Gulf?
The Gulf, yeah.
Coast?
Yeah, the Gulf Coast.
Because it's in the Gulf of Mexico?
Yes, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yes. You are totally throwing me here. Naples, Florida. The neighbors are confused.
I'm confused. This looks like that cheese house.
When a home
in
the Il Regalo community was painted Technicolor. Well, was painted multicolor. They took several days. It looks like the guy spent time spray painting and brushing the house.
Wow.
Paint is splattered everywhere. We're going to post pictures of this on the Facebook page.
He painted the palm tree.
He did. And the roof of the house, too. And all the windows.
What does the vehicle say?
It's on the lawn as well.
Who is something? It's got a giant rainbow.
Why is this not opening? Oh, yeah, here we go. I opened it. I got it to open. I'm going to look and see what that picture says. It says, come on, open bigger. There we go. Who is Omar?
I don't know.
He painted his vehicle. Wow, that's fascinating.
Is it? Like, I mean...
So here's, on this Facebook page, it says, looks like somebody was actually blanked, actually. The van says, who is Omar? My guess is the dude caught wife or girlfriend cheating and went art crazy.
Oh,
that's an interesting theory. That is a very interesting theory. So in the article, it says that the guy obviously he had a drug issue. I've just never seen this type of thing in my entire life.
This is really bizarre.
It is bizarre.
I mean,
they say the damages could run into hundreds of thousands of dollars because all the windows have been painted and everything. Lieberman, the man who did this, is no longer living in the home. And, of course, now here's the loaded part of the story. The Collier County Code Enforcement said they're looking into it. Because painting a house lots of different colors could be illegal. Just saying.
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, they're looking into, like, if it's illegal to paint a house?
Yeah, the code enforcement. And the Homeowners Association says it's suing. Yeah, I kid you not. That's what makes this gold.
Those HOAs are worse than the government.
The county is looking into it. and the homeowners association is suing. Lieberman is already facing drug charges, including smuggling contraband into a detention facility.
Oh my goodness!
So he is, he's a gem of a character. But yeah, Florida man.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, look, I love when people use different colored paints on their houses. I think it's cool to have a unique colored house.
Is this even legal?
But that, oh my goodness, are you reading the comments?
I love how
never read the comments, Ben.
Always read the comments.
I love how nobody is like questioning whether or not this was like vandalism. They're just like, is it legal?
Yeah, they're like, is it legal? And he's a
HOA is concerned about the house color, not whether or not it was vandalized.
No, it's. I mean, I guess they assume it was him, right? I mean,
I would assume, considering like, else you would think the police would be involved with.
Well,
this.
I mean, it said he took several days to do it, so I mean, he definitely did it.
So, yeah,
but
I don't know.
The question is,
I don't know. I don't
have a problem with a colorful house. You people who live in HOAs, let us know. 140279111. I want to know HOA paint rules.
No, you don't.
I will never live in an HOA because of this. Because I can't paint my house what color I want. You have to pick from the approved colors.
It's painful.
And God forbid your trash can sit out by the curb for an extra 10 minutes on trash day. Because
I'm very fortunate to live in a subdivision that does not have an HOA.
If they start to join one, protest.
I don't miss it a bit.
Protest, Tombstone. If they try,
I will protest.
I'll come down there and pick it with you.
Did you see where Biden wants to take me to the back of the barn? Me. Some things in life you could really love doing.
I don't wear a toupee. It's my hair.
I really am very smart.
I am a young, vibrant man.
The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action. We will make America great again.
Gentlemen, did you see that the official logos for the Space Force have been released?
I love it.
Gene Roddenberry is probably rolling in his grave because it looks like an exact steal from.
So I have some bad news on that front.
It's not an exact steal. Be quiet. Stop talking.
U.S. Space Force, Air Force Space Command has been using variations on the Delta for like 60 years.
Okay.
Stop it, Ben.
Go, Ozzy, go.
Oh, all I'm trying to say is that why can't it just become the United Federation of Planets?
Because there's only one planet with people on it.
It's like the beginning.
Until Elon Musk gets us to Mars. Until Elon gets us to Mars, it's just the Earth. We need to leave the Earth, go to Mars,
and then we can have the United Federation of Planets.
Know what?
And then we can live out the Expanse in real time. It's going to be freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so.
Have you guys seen the Expanse?
I haven't.
I have not actually. That is on my watch list. I have not seen it yet.
Okay, so The Expanse is the best science fiction show I've ever seen.
Is it?
To include,
is it though?
Yes, it's better than Firefly.
Oh, that's a hard sell.
So,
and let me tell you why
that's a hard sell.
Let me tell you why I say that. First of all, Firefly is awesome. This is not to detract from Firefly.
Why this is better than a cowboy in space movie.
I still love Firefly, but it's really not an apples to apples. I'm really not being fair to Firefly.
Yeah,
it is the hard science is good. It feels real. I don't know any other way to say it. It feels real. It's interesting plot lines. There's lots going on.
You're going to regret this when we.
They're going to film. They're going to film the next episode in space, the next season in space.
The Vulcans.
No, There's no Vulcans out there,
you
Ben.
were gonna regret it.
So
that's exactly what I expected a graphic designer to say.
Give me the plot of The Expanse. Convince me that I need to watch it.
Yep.
Because I don't know if I want to watch it.
The central conflict is you have three parties. You have the Belters, who are the miners that live on the asteroids and the tiny planets. You know, the Belters, the Martians, and the Earth. Mars and Earth are about to go to war.
I take it back.
I
did start watching this. I never finished it, though. I got it like a couple episodes in.
Earth and Mars both have navies. The Mars is more professional. Earth is more wealthy and larger.
Right.
And it's basically about the secret bioweapon that gets traded back and forth and that they're all trying to capture control of. Mm-hmm. So, but the politics are not what makes it interesting. It's just everything about it is interesting. All but the lady who plays the minister, I can't remember her name. She's an Indian lady, Christian. She's amazing. She does a great job. She swears like a sailor, but she's really fun to watch. And there's an Australian chick who plays a Marine, and she does a really good job too, despite the fact that lady Marines are unrealistic, but in space it's slightly less unrealistic.
Yes,
right, because they're on Mars.
There's less gravity, so And
no,
plus,
I'm just saying. I'm just reflecting on the fact that you were the one that was saying that like Vulcans are unrealistic. In a space, genre movie, but women being Marines is completely plausible.
Listen, unless the Earth really is flat and there's an impenetrable dome called the firmament over it.
Do not insult the turtle.
We will eventually turtle all the way down.
He already is suffering from those straws.
We will eventually. Just take us out, Aaron. Take us out.
Okay. No. Have you guys seen the preview for the new show with Hugh Laurie, who obviously was known for House?
I'm going to say no, because I haven't seen him in anything recently.
One of the greatest shows of all time.
He is the captain.
It is pretty good, actually.
Of a space-based comedy set 40 years in the future where the solar system is everyone's oyster.
The solar system?
Solar system. Anyways, it's on HBO, which means I'll probably never see it. But it's called Avenue 5.
Does it stink?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on like a cruise ship, right?
Yes, but he's this weird captain.
Have you seen the Orville? That's pretty funny.
On a cruise ship in space.
I've never seen the Orville, but I've never watched Star Trek seriously because it's for nerds.
Oh, it is. That's why you wouldn't get it.
Really?
Because you're not awesome.
You talking about the Orville?
The Orville's pretty funny.
No, I've never really thought Star Trek was that great.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie.
I can tell you why Star Trek is lame.
No, you can't, because
I'll tell
you're not going to prove your point.
It's didactic and not entertaining. That's why.
That's why millions of people love it?
I guess. That's why it will never be as good as Star Wars.
I've watched every single episode of The Next Generation. I have seen every single episode of Voyager.
Yep.
I have seen every single episode of Enterprise.
Of the original. I didn't like Enterprise. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like Enterprise.
I liked it, but I thought that they took a few steps that were unneeded. Like I never really got into Deep Space Nine. I didn't mind it. Never liked Deep Space Nine.
All I hear is this.
Never liked Deep Space Nine.
I just hear gums flapping.
I did watch all of the original series once. I'm not a huge fan.
I am. I'm a
fan of the terrible acting, but I'm not a fan of everything else.
Oh, they're so good. It's like the original Batman, which is on Hulu, by the way. I'm just saying, you can watch the original Adam West Batmans on Hulu, the whole thing. It's amazing.
Why would you inflict that on yourself?
You know what? Why are you even talking
when everyone knows the Christian Bale Batman is the best one?
You're just a Debbie Downer.
I am a Debbie
Christian
Downer.
Bale's Batman is pretty good, actually. I'm not going to lie about that.
I haven't actually. What was the original? I've only seen several episodes of the original Star Trek, and I thought they were. It's not that they were terrible. I didn't buy what they were selling.
For the 1950s, it was incredible.
They're not supposed to buy what they're selling.
Aaron.
That's half 60s, the reason why they're funny.
Star Trek was never supposed to be funny.
Yes, it was.
No. No.
I don't necessarily agree with it. It was a
trouble. I'm just saying trouble with tribbles. Come on. Really?
Did I not just say tribbles, or was I thinking?
Boom. I think you were thinking them
because you think tribbles, and all of a sudden you see them multiplying like rabbits.
I haven't actually seen
like
that
Catholic
episode.
rabbits.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
For all things fertility, turn into the Front Porch Show every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern.
It's true. It's true. Hey, someone's got to educate the
We haven't
masses.
even talked about antinatalism on this show.
I don't want to. That's freaky stuff, man.
Creepy
stuff. No.
So for those, never mind. I won't go into
Yeah,
it.
no. We'll talk.
Aaron and I have had a rolling discussion about this.
We do need to have a conversation about that sometime, but I would like to be better prepared on that. And get
I
more
really, I don't know. It may be beyond the scope of this show. I don't know.
I don't think anything's beyond the scope of this show, because this
It's
show is
maybe
like
including my fat face.
This may have to be reserved for the back porch at
back
that show.
porch show.
That's what we should call it. We should call it the Back Porch Show. Front Porch After Dark is the back porch.
The back porch.
I've never thought of that, Ben. I'm astounded that you thought of that.
Ben has said it numerous times before while you've been on the show.
I've never heard you say it. No, I've never heard him say it. Never heard it. Never heard it. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry that I don't pay attention when your gums are flapping.
Wow.
It's fine. It's fine. You've just, completely
Ben's like,
insulted
I'm
a bunch of
married, it's cool.
Trekkie peoples
No
and
problem.
Trekkers.
Tombstone.
I know, Jared, I know you're out there listening to this, and I know you're going to be mad at me, but you're the one that inflicted Star Trek on me, and you're the reason I have the opinions I have, so we can talk about it offline.
They're great. I love the new movies, the 3 new movies.
I do
Incredible.
too. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw the first one with Benedict
It's
Cumberbatch.
so great.
That's not the first one. That's the second one.
That's the second one.
See, I
Get it
don't
right.
even know. I literally cannot keep track. I have seen, but I haven't seen all the Marvel
It's not
movies
that
either.
hard.
The first
But
one.
I have seen both movies of Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are amazing.
Those are good,
That's
but they're not
Star Trek.
No, it's kind of Star Trek-ish though. You have all these
No.
You ready? Now he's going to
No.
jump into the Marvel universe, which he has told us that he doesn't really watch either.
Marvel-
I know.
And he's gonna,
I thought Wonder
go,
Woman was part of the Marvel universe.
Marvel.
Wonder Woman was my favorite Marvel movie so far.
Marvel is a dystopic epic.
That's probably why I enjoyed it so much,
And
because
it's
it was actually
amazing.
good.
It's amazing. And
Oh.
Star Trek is a
Utopian.
yes, a utopic epic.
Yes, I don't. That's why I don't like it.
And yes, because you're Debbie Downer.
That's because
Right.
I'm from South Carolina, and South Carolina's been a dystopia since 1640.
I thought you were going to say 1860.
Oh, speaking.
Anyways,
Oh no, it goes way before that.
Speaking of crazy people and crazy survivor Doomsday, we have a story about that.
we do.
Is
this out of South Carolina? This is Pickens, to be honest with you.
Oh wait, I didn't know. How did I not know about this?
No,
I don't know.
This was all right. So
I'm
this
all
was
excited.
actually the reason this came up is that it happened, I believe, 2 years ago, and they finally got to sentencing the people, which is why it came back up again.
Which is why it's relevant.
Oh, it's amazing. So anyway, so these apparently on the top of some hill or mountain or something somewhere.
How have I never heard of this?
There is a castle that these people have built as a doomsday prepper castle.
It was featured on National Geographic.
Okay,
Getaway
doesn't that defeat the point?
thing. I'm not saying
So,
it doesn't.
I remember.
I
remember seeing
there was a
this.
series about it. There was a TV series
Yeah,
about it.
I-
Apparently, it
I
has
remember seeing the
4.9.
series.
Has a 4.9 on IMDb.
Well, the funny thing is,
Fascinating.
I don't think it was ever completed, which is the hilarious part.
Right.
Why would you build? Never mind. Don't. Why are people the way they are?
Why would you build a
Anyway.
bunker house that has never been completed?
So
I don't
they
know.
had stuff inside of it, obviously,
Now I'm
because
gonna
they're
have to
doomsday
go watch
preppers.
every single episode.
And
It looks like a
They-
fun project, honestly.
they 2 years ago got robbed. So
I mean,
these two
that is what
these
happens
two
when you
people
put your
went
crap on national television. Yes.
these two people went to the castle, broke in, and stole over $100,000 worth of survival equipment.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff. What did they steal? Does it tell us what they stole?
Let's see.
Because I'm super curious. Like, how do you?
I don't know if it actually. I'll have to see if I
how
can
do you
find
hit
the other stories.
Is it like generators and stuff?
I don't know I don't know if they actually did, and if they did, they must have done it over a period of weeks or days.
Must have.
Or unless it was something like super valuable, but I mean,
like gold bricks, because that's what you keep in a castle.
Oh my gosh! But anyway, so they broke through the fortified entrances.
Power tools, guns, an ATV, appliances, and kitchen cabinets were all stolen.
They stole kitchen cabinets.
They stole kitchen cabinets. Yeah,
so I'm guessing that these people don't really
is your castle.
Well, they said that they have cameras now.
Yeah, but how fortified is your castle when someone's able to break in?
I agree. They broke in and broke through like the 2 lines of defense that were meant to keep people out of the castle. So I'm just saying, if you're a Doomsday prepper, you may want to check your defense that it's not like easily accessible for 2 30-year-old man and woman to break.
I just want to know where the stupid thing is. I want to know if I've driven past it, because I probably have.
It's I don't know. They tell you in the news story. They tell you where it's at, I believe.
I mean, it's in Pickens.
If you watch like the news story of it, which is on the page.
Oh, apparently they're renting out rooms in it now.
Oh, are they? Oh,
well, Tombstone.
No,
I am seeing a romantic rendezvous in your future.
Romantic getaways.
No,
go to the Doomsday Castle.
Oh, they are. Oh, they have a Facebook page. Let me see if it's on. Let me see if it's on the map. Hang on.
I need you to go stay there.
There is. It is on the map. I mean, what good is it if your Doomsday Prepper's Castle is on Google Maps, labeled clearly as Doomsday Prepper's Castle?
Is it really? That's awesome.
That is how it's labeled. And
you know what they probably stole? They probably stole all of the Star Trek full completed series out of there. I bet you those people probably stole all that.
No, Ben, they would have stole something valuable.
It's in Pumpkin Town.
Yeah, of course it is.
Of course,
Pumpkin Town is like half of Pickens County, so
that's hilarious.
I love it.
That's right by where you claim to be Southern, Aaron.
Wow.
That's so funny.
I gotta say though, if you had to pick a place to put a Doomsday Prepper's Castle in Pickens County, that is exactly where you would put it.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a great
except
location.
for the fact that they might as well just have giant signs pointing to it.
It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's in a square of woods.
Right.
It's in the middle of a square of woods.
Ideally, it's not a bad place until you go on TV and then label it on Google Maps.
What I loved about the Doomsday Prepper shows was always they were doing these projects and they're like bringing these massive 60,000-pound excavators in their backyard and we're keeping this on the down low and we're hired to
no one will ever notice this.
We hired a
HOA
team.
has been giving me heck for a long time.
We hired a team from out of state to come in and do this so that our neighbors wouldn't know about it. And I'm like, they're standing on the deck overlooking your house,
or
watching you dig the bunker.
I like the ones where they use dynamite. Like, and they blow, part of the thing, and they're like, hopefully nobody noticed that. And you got, the neighbors standing over there like Wilson from Home Improvement. What's up?
Hey,
what are you guys doing?
Hey. Just saying.
Or it's like that guy. You remember that video that we watched where it was the guy that, what was it? He poured the gasoline down the anthill or whatever and then blew up half his backyard?
Oh, that was so funny, yes.
That's exactly what it is. It's like, I hope nobody noticed that.
Oh my word. Guys, did you see this Washington State the tumbleweeds?
Rain?
No, the tumbleweeds.
Yes. Tumblegeddon.
So I saw the same thing.
That is so crazy.
I saw a video down in Kansas of the same thing. So many tumbleweeds.
That is insane.
That they had to break out snow plows to clear the roads.
Yeah. Yeah. And they said they were I think in the video they were digging out semi-trucks and cars and stuff because they're completely covered.
Yeah, they can't.
With tumbleweeds.
They cannot move because of the tumbleweeds.
They were like the people got out, and it's not like it's not like it's actually any danger. It's just it's like a huge 30 foot by 10 or 12 foot tumbleweeds just covering the roads and everything else. It's insane.
Ridiculous. That's incredible.
It is insane.
Washington's such a weird place. I would have expected to see snow there, but no, there's no snow. It's just tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Tumbleweeds.
You guys ever seen tumbleweeds? I mean, they're pretty cool.
I don't know if I ever actually have. I don't know if they have.
Yeah,
in
I don't know that I have either.
No, they did. They did have them.
I'm sure you did in Wyoming, right?
I did when I was out on the prairie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. I remember seeing my first tumbleweed. It sounds so dumb when I say it that way. Yeah.
Really?
I do. I remember it. I remember it, but it was like I just moved to the Midwest.
Yesterday?
It was late spring, or maybe it was fall, I guess. And watching this thing roll past, I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's a tumbleweed!" Wow. I actually witnessed a tumbleweed.
That is a wonderful story that nobody actually cared about.
No, they don't.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for not having an actual excitement in that story.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
You are so other notable stories this week. We got to wrap it up.
I do like the tumbleweeds though. That's pretty awesome.
Beyond Meat. I won't be going to Hardee's. I won't be going to KFC. Not KFC.
But they have the meats.
I won't be going to Burger King, and I won't be going to Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay,
why? They are all serving Beyond Meat burgers or sausage at their locations, and I don't want to accidentally get a Beyond Meat sausage.
Yeah,
listen, I'm telling you guys, this is not anything. Nothing has changed except for the labels on the package. That's all that's changed. It's the same meat that it always air quotes that it always was.
No,
that's not true. Shut up. They haven't been serving meat in 20 years, and no one's noticed, and now it's okay for them to come out.
All right, Andrew.
Thank you. Would you like me to buy you some more tinfoil? Coach Leach took a job at Mississippi State. He left Oregon. Or Washington, excuse me. Left Washington. So that'll be fun. SEC is going to be off the hook.
It's going to be great.
Lane Kiffin is down there, and then you've got your Clemson boy there.
Yep.
Tombstone. So that'll be great, along with Malzahn at
That's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Malzahn at Auburn and Saban at Alabama. It's going to be epic. I don't know what else, guys. We got a couple other stories here that we can post bundle next week, I guess. Hey, that's all.
Oh,
what? Oh, no! Throw it out there.
So what are you guys' thoughts on the autonomous lawnmowers that are coming out now?
I saw one.
Did you really?
I saw one. Yeah, someone up in South Dakota had one. It was gas powered, but it was an autonomous one.
I think gas powered makes a whole lot more sense than electric, personally, for something like that.
Yeah. Why? Well, hold on. Why? Why though? When you can have your lawnmower, it goes out and mows half your lawn, goes back, charges up, and then finishes it.
Yeah, but it doesn't even need to. Did you look at the link that I have? It's got a little solar panel. It's got the solar panels on top of it.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how big your yard. What if you got like a 4-acre yard?
Yeah, but then
it never stops.
It can go out, mow, come back in, park, charge up, and then go back out.
I'm not buying it.
Why not? I'm sure
it's expensive. That's why.
Because I want a gas-powered mower. That's why.
Well, okay then. That's fine.
I want a gas-powered autonomous mower.
You can keep killing the turtle.
How big was the one? How big a yard was the one you saw mowing?
It wasn't a yard. It was a lawnmower sales place. It was mowing. It was literally mowing the ditch.
Driving up and down.
It was mowing the ditch in front of the lawnmower sales place.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome.
That's something.
Yeah. So these things are fitted with LiDAR and GPS. There's a hot swap battery casing.
They're fitted with what?
LiDAR and GPS.
What's LiDAR?
It's basically it's like radar. It bounces.
So why don't they call it radar?
It's lasers though. Instead of radio waves, it's laser beams.
Wow.
But it measures things with the. You are just so.
We've talked about LiDAR on the show before.
I'm sure we have.
Have we?
So,
yeah,
fitted solar panels.
Scanning the Earth from satellites for like Roman ruins and stuff like that,
or ruins on the moon.
Yeah,
to see if it's round. This is another thing that's going to disturb the poor turtle. Man, these people, they're satellites. I'm telling you.
They're saying it reduces labor costs by 45%.
Oh, that means removing American jobs. I'm out.
I know.
Same here. I'm a populist now. Nothing can take away jobs.
There we go. It's over.
They took our jobs.
No more autonomous lawn mowing for you guys. 1-402-799-1811 is the message line number. What was that, Tombstone?
Andrew Yang is pro automatic lawnmowers and also pro Yang bucks, so it all evens out.
It all evens out because those machines are going to make the Yang bucks, so then you can get them for free.
I really want to get
out of the grass clippings. They're green, right?
Oh yeah, because it's sustainable money.
Yes,
it's made out of grass clippings.
I love it.
I do too. I think that it is a winning combination. Of everything. That's awesome. Check us out on the web this week. Wow, my voice cracked again. What in the world? www.thefrontporchshow.com. Check us out on the web at our Twitter page, our Facebook page. Anything else, guys? Do we have anything to add? I don't know. We hope Jeff joins us next time. We miss you, Jeff. We love you. But the fact that you're sitting there in your office with your finger on the button that's poised on the button for the rods of God that's over the top of my house, it just,
Thank you for over-explaining that.
You're welcome.
Let's go.
It's what I do best.
That made it so much less awkward.